Hi, on this episode, Foster to Family, I'm Tammy McGuire, Foster Closet's president and founder, and we're interviewing a foster mom who has a journey to be told. So her name is Kelly Anderson. Thank you, Kelly, for coming. And she's going to share how her journey from foster to family has helped her grow as a foster parent and her takeaway about being a foster parent and how she grew to become the person and the mom that she is today. Love it. What a great heart.
Year-old and a baby, and neither of them slept. They stayed with me a couple months. I would say maybe 2. And they ended up going to an aunt and uncle who they're still with.
Placement.
Yes.
That Kelly's the liaison for, if you can remember, for our chapter called First Coast Foster Adoptive Parents Association.
I mean, even though we know foster care is our heart, our goal is reunification. Joy to be able to be part of their story, to be part of that happiness in their life.
Yeah.
So you kind of, and just be happy.
Yeah. Right. So how long did you take off? Did you ever take a hiatus in between?
I don't.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So after these two, what happened next? After these two, what happened next?
So I keep my home open all the time so they can send a child to me at any time. And you just kind of wait. And that waiting turned into a phone call in the middle of the night. Woke me up from my sleep saying, hey, would you take another kid? And so I did. And so I had my...
Wait a minute. They woke you up?
Yeah. It's 24 hours. These, they don't ask for this, so they don't be like, okay, it's 5 o'clock, let's do this. It was just the middle of the night, and it was actually Halloween. And 2 a.m. I got a 3-year-old in my home.
A 3-year-old.
Yeah.
And do you still have this child today?
Not that one.
Okay, so what happened with that child?
So she went to a home with her brother.
Oh.
She had a sibling, so they got to go to a home together. So they didn't have to be separate. We all want our siblings, especially in a time like that.
That's right.
Familiar.
That's right. So when placement gets a phone call from the Department of Children and Families, they can't find a home to take both children right away. So an emergency placement might have to separate the sibling groups or the children, and then eventually the goal is to always bring them back together.
And she was only with me for a few days, and they joined them in one foster home that could take both.
So just a few days.
Yeah, that one was just a couple days.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
So now we're talking about you're up to 5 children that came into your home in how many months?
That was October, and I was licensed in March.
Wow.
So just a few months. The beautiful part about foster care, we can all walk down the same road, and it can be so different, paved in so many different colors and placements and stones, but it's all such a great point.
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
And it's our journey.
Yeah.
It's not, you don't have to live mine and I don't have to live yours, but we learn from each other.
Absolutely.
And you can grow. And the training that we provide, and what we're doing this for the YouTube channel, Foster a Family, is so that you at home can learn what we do, how you can support us without even being a foster parent.
Yeah, because we want you with us here. This isn't just for us to do by ourselves. We want to involve everybody and make you part of our foster tribe, our foster group.
Yeah, our support, right? Yeah. Okay, so now they have left, let's just say, and go back to that moment. How long did it take you for your next
2 months? Because that was October, and then I got my next one Christmas.
You were asking for, what age group were you asking for at that
time?
time?
So I do under 5.
Under 5, and potentially 1 to 2, that's it. Children.
Yes.
Okay, so
I only do 2 if they're siblings. So I prefer 1, but I'll open up to 2 if they're siblings. I don't want to separate sibling groups.
I like that. So what she's saying is she would rather do only 1 or sibling group of 2, but not 1 from one case, 1 from another case, right? That's interesting, right? You learn something new about what your journey is versus someone else's. Christmas tree was up?
Christmas tree, but it was empty underneath. It was literally like 2 days after Christmas. The state was shut down. Everybody shut down between Christmas and New Year's. Right. But they bring me this beautiful little 9-month-old baby and are like, here, Joy, take care of her. And so yeah, it was like, whoa. I emailed you, and you were so kind to open up and come in for us to kind of help me out and get everything started. Tammy at the Foster Closet helps us get supplies when we get a child in, because they come to us with nothing. She didn't even come with a bottle or a formula or anything like that. So it was like, you know, having somebody run to Walmart for me and being like, can you grab me diapers?
Right.
Because we don't know what we're getting or have that. So we have a little bit of a supply at home, and we just kind of have, you know, our people kind of try and help us.
As you can tell, this is during Christmas.
Yeah.
She just said that most of the offices were shut down that are in the foster care world. And Foster Closet usually is by appointment only during that time frame. So I was so pleased to be able to help you. And the neat thing is, she also, guess who else is shut down? WIC. And WIC is given to the child. In WIC, if you want to look it up online, we'll have a little link below what that means. But they supply our families, any child from 0 up to the age of 5, and it stops at 5, with any food needs they may need. And then for her, it would be formula.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're a mom or you're a dad or a parent or anything like that. Formula is very expensive.
Oh, very.
Especially when she was on not a normal formula. She was on a specialized formula, so it was very, very expensive.
And we have it here.
Yeah.
Or we'll go out and purchase it. If
you had it for me. Wow. Yeah, so it was just
that child still with you?
She is.
So this is the longest placement you've ever had in your home.
It is like 16 months.
16 months. Wait a minute. How long is usually a case plan, Kelly?
The idea in Florida, they try to stick to a year to permanency, especially in Northeast Florida. Judge Gooding, who is our local judge here, he's fantastic at really kind of hitting that 1 year mark. Him and Magistrate Strawbridge really do. They want a year to permanency for these kids because it's the children's right.
We're so grateful, though, that she's able to stay in one placement that whole entire time, and Kelly's able to love on her and nurture her and give that bonding time with her, and that's what it's all about as a foster family in a home. What gives you that peace and assurance that what you're doing is what you're supposed to be doing?
I mean, I think it all just kind of circles back to the child. Looking at her, you know, at her in my world and how she's grown since I've gotten her. Because just her growth is huge, and it's been so fantastic to watch. There's days where you struggle. We're at 2, she's 2 now, and you know, terrible 2s, we all, you know, have those days, but she's fantastic and she's wonderful, and that's what it's about. And we have to realize that and think back to that sometimes. That it's not about us, it's not about our mood or our attitude, it's about these children and helping them and supporting them in this. Because they don't know what's going on, so we have to be there for them.
So the child gives you hope. Is there any other outside why is sometimes I look at my child and go, you don't give me hope right now? Like the terrible 2s. Is support system or someone who gives you that advice, or where do you go to make you feel a little bit like I'm not struggling, I'm not doing this today, I'm actually feeling good?
Yeah, so actually I come here. I come to the Foster Closet Support Group. It's been fantastic because there's other people, there's other foster families, and they're in the same boat I am. They understand where I'm coming from, they understand what I'm saying, and they can kind of push me and help me and encourage me. Just when I don't feel like I can, like, do this path or do this road, they're right there with me being like, no, you can do it, we've done it, you know what it is. So just the other parents, I mean, they're so fantastic. I really enjoy them.
I don't know how I don't know how you do it out there without a support system.
I don't know.
And I want to share that's probably why we started it so long ago, is because I didn't have that opportunity and I didn't have a mentor, and the ones I did didn't know how to express how to help me. And my family, I love you, family, but families sometimes don't know the struggle, and they would rather protect you and say, well, maybe it's not for you, versus, yes, I know this is my journey that God has put me on. So, Kelly, can you talk about your future? I don't think we ever talked about or asked you if you ever wanted to adopt. Because was foster always your goal, or was adoption your goal, or both? Help us through that journey.
So I got into this to foster. Foster is a temporary thing. We're told while we go through training, foster is temporary. And adoption is permanent forever. I did not want to adopt. That was not my goal. That is not why I got into foster care. I got in this to be a temporary home for these children while their family heals so they can go back home. I want them home with their moms and dads. That's my goal.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, so tell us about your future as a foster family.
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of up in the air. It depends on the progress of my case and where it ends up. I always want to be involved. I always want to have my home open to take kids, whether long-term or do respite, temporary. You know, I just want to stay in this and keep involved.
Have you ever thought about adoption in your future?
Yeah. No, so I'm hoping that all my cases end up in reunification. That's my goal. And I feel that if a case gets to a point where the goal is adoption, that it'll just be either the right place for the child to be long-term in my home, or the door will be open for them to go somewhere else.
So let's say you have this moment of clarity and adoption is able to happen in your world. So then do you want to keep fostering, or do you want to stop and just say, I'm going to be a mommy for a little while and then go back to that maybe later?
Yeah, no. So if my cases ever do come to adoption, and I choose that it's the right place for them to stay with me, I'll probably take a couple months just to kind of solidify what we have going on in our home.
That's smart.
The bond of the child and me. You know, let them know that they're safe where they are and that they're permanent where they are. And then I'll kind of open up my house probably back for respite for a while. Just kind of a little bit here
Ease
and there.
back in.
Yes.
So that way the child kind of says, okay, this is our life, and I feel secure, which is really smart, by the way. And then, okay, let's get our feet wet just a little bit at a time until she's comfortable, you're comfortable, he's comfortable, you're comfortable.
Yeah.
Whoever that child God, places in your home in a forever way, feels comfortable as a unit. I think that's really smart, and Kelly, very smart of you.
Thanks.
And do you see you long term maybe doing this?
It's my heart, it's part of me. I really enjoy it. I enjoy a safe kind of haven for these children.
That's good.
And making them feel comfortable and making them feel loved. So I really hope to be involved in it in some way, whether I have adopted at that point or if I'm still just fostering. I'm completely happy both ways.
So what does that look like? Because you said that you have placements for 2, you're licensed for 2. So if you adopt one day, one child, then that means you only have 1 room left, right?
Yeah.
So would you ever think of taking 2 more in later in the future, or adopting 2, or what is that? Have you thought that through or processed that through?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a set path. I don't be like, okay, 3 is my max.
Yes.
And it's not really like that. It's just kind of where I am at that point and what feels right. I don't want to be like, no, I said 2 and 2 be done. So I think it's just kind of where I lead. I do have an extra room in my house. Sorry, Mom. It's kind of like where my mom likes to stay when she comes into town. But yeah, so I'm open to the possibility. So we'll kind of see where it goes.
So that's what it's all about, everybody, is learning your purpose through your past, or finding how you can help support the foster care community from family to foster and foster to family. If you're out there wondering how you can be a foster family, you can always look below, and we have a link where you can click for your local agency, or if you live in the Northeast Florida area, how you can become a foster parent. Let's say that you are just wanting to be a supporter for a foster family. How can I go about helping support? There's many ways, and you can look below and we'll have a link how you can get a hold of us here at the Foster Closet to help supply that helpful support to other families. I'm Tammy McGuire, and that was this week's version of how you can help look after the foster care community from foster to